For about 20 years, Weber barbecue models have all used the same ignition assembly with very little variation. For today's example, we're going to use an old Spirit model that's about 15 years old. We've already removed the side burner, and there's two screws that hold the control panel in place. Remove the knobs to get us to the piezo module. On the piezo module, there's two wires that we're going to remove, the electrode wire and the ground wire, and then there's a single nut below the bracket that loosens the module. These piezo modules really almost never go bad, especially in these old Webers, because all the controls are so far away from the firebox. The failure in ignition is usually the electrode that gets all the grease and marinades on it inside the firebox. Here's our old electrode with the rusted collector box, and to remove that, we're going to bend that little tab so that it lays flat against the electrode. We're going to remove the ground wire off the bottom. It's going to slide right into the firebox so that we can pull the wire out. Now we've got the old ignition out of the way, we're going to put a new one in. The aluminum firebox for the Weber has a separate hole for the ground. Because they're not made out of steel or stainless steel, they need to ground out separately. You can't just attach it and ground it. So when we put that in, the large tab that bends in place goes through the big hole with the electrode. The little tab goes through the smaller hole so that we can attach our ground wire. So we're going to slide that through, and it's tight enough to hold itself, but when we get to the outside, we're going to put our wire in, and then we're also going to bend that tab up so that bumping around the grill and stuff doesn't allow it to fall out of place. Once that's in place, we're going to put in the new module, and again, that just drops right into the bracket. We're going to slide it in, and there's the nut that goes on the bottom. We just tighten that down. Now the electrode wire that comes out of the porcelain electrode on the Weber has the black wire. We're going to attach the black wire to the tip of the module, and then the ground wire attaches a little bit further up on the side. There's different piezo modules, and some of them don't have that separate ground, so when you replace the Weber one, you got to make sure to get the Weber electrode and the Weber module so that you can attach that ground wire. And that's it. That is a replaced ignition assembly on a Weber. And up until about 2007, they all worked the same. Now in the front of the barbecue, there's a little hole that if your igniter's not working, you can stick a long match or a long lighter through there. What we're going to do is kind of look through that hole and make sure everything's working, and that way you can see the actual spark occurring inside the collector box.